Oh, they're doing a little tree thing outside. Hello, everyone. I'm back to do a quick little stream. Hopefully, it's public. I won't know until.
There's a recommended update for your PC. Based on the update settings, your PC enabled an upgrade. Click here to schedule the upgrade.
So, Pepsi, what exactly were you doing while I was gone?
Huh.
Right now, I'm just coloring a
Not.
little. Right now, I'm just coloring a little Cupchew, or
Ooh,
actually, the Punk Tagger,
Cupchew.
cosplaying as a cute little Cupchew. Now, the Pokemon itself is up here, and it's from Pokemon Black and White. Yeah, it's from Pokemon Black and White, and it is the Ice Pure type Pokemon Cupchew. Now, Cupchew is a fairly it's a bear, and Cup means like small bear, or like infant bear, so it's a baby bear. Oh man, but yeah, Cupchew is a very. This Pokemon's actually for the a video I'm doing with Akira again, where I go back to the roots of Pokemon and suffer because I refuse to actually Google image anything and instead of what Akira decides. Okay, so to crack it down, I really, really do not like the idea of taking someone else's work and posting it on the channel. I would love to do the art showcase where so I have to edit those two videos from those two artists that agreed to it and plug their social media. One of them being an individual on DeviantArt called Toxicity or Tater Talks. She's a Deviant artist that gave me permission in the past, but didn't want anything to do with it because there wasn't enough material to work with. In addition to me being fairly scarce with my knowledge of, how to edit and do the stuff I'm doing now. So now I feel more comfortable that I'll be able to do it. What do you think, Pepsi?
Uh, looks pretty nice actually.
Hmm. Cupchew is adorable, and this is actually cosplaying as Cupchew. Surprisingly enough, she actually isn't a happy-go-lucky character, as her current dialogue might suggest. She actually is a bit of a punk, an unlikable figure who literally goes around picking fights with other individuals. Her weapon of choice is a scythe because she believes it's effective and quick. And uh, the reason I like her is because I literally kicked around her story in my head, and I don't know if it'll justify her actions, but I know that that's the thing I'm going with her. Poor girl. In addition to because she is a tiger persona, but even with the tiger personas being their own things, and having their own free will, it doesn't necessarily mean they have to get along. Look at Tiger and Rage; they're practically the same entity, but they're both so vastly different. Rage being, despite what his name might imply, a level-headed individual that likes to think things out, while Tiger likes to rush into a fight without thinking about it most of the time. But if it's really serious, either Shadow will point a knife to his back and say, calm down, or Jen or Pixel will nudge him. Pixel by literally pistol whipping him, and Jen just by, being Jen and keeping him calm. Although Tiger, for the most part, as far as I can tell with the story, I think the reason he wants to be goofy and silly is mainly because the world isn't a very happy place in TMP, and joy comes from like the people you spend it with. Tiger in the crossover event known as PvP, the crossover between my character Tiger and Penny's character Penny Q, or just Penny, it that event actually gets pretty dark with a story about war and food. It's I think the like title for the episode might be Food Fight, where Tiger gets World War II flashbacks by animating the food and having them fight in a gritty manner. Not very heroic, mind you, but it's Tiger, and this is before, he
Uh, just hold on for a second.
I don't want the background noise to disturb the viewing for repeats.
Uh,
Yeah, I know I suck.
You don't suck.
Yeah, I know I suck. Then again, they're annoying as hell, so there's that too.
I mean, I can't save my stupid game either.
You know what I actually find funny? What I find really funny about her design is the fact that with Ashley, the punk tagger, I just gonna call her Ashley because I usually, yeah. The weird thing about me is I don't refer to people IRL by their names, but instead by the nicknames I give them. Mainly because I don't like repeating the same name in public or behind closed scenes. I don't know. Maybe it's because of my disassociation with the name I have. Then again, the name I did choose is fairly common for a name.
Huh.
Pretty funny. Pretty funny when you think about it. Or tragic. Your choice.
Yeah.
But it's whatever's. But yeah, Ashley or the punk tagger, because each personality, I decided to give each person a proper name rather than just calling them titles, because that feels like a dehumanize. That feels like they stop being characters and more like they're being tools. And as much as some of them can be a bit, rough around the edges, difficult to work with, Fur being a prime example, someone that could be seen as a character that could be difficult to work with because of her personality and how she acts. Also, she kind of became a sniper specifically just to piss off her commanding officer. Although I think that had to do more with Tiger's relationship with the military branch and Tiger's feelings in general. Then again, first personality does, she's very much against authority. She disapproves of. So yeah, military life isn't for her. And if anybody ever forced her into it, she'd probably be a terrible person as far as, being cooperative. She wouldn't get anyone killed. She'd know not to mess around on the battlefield, but, during practice rehearsal and all that other stuff, they would admit that she would probably be a detriment to, the group as a whole, which would either result in her getting kicked out or being scorned by the rest of the group to do better. Or, they can do the less favorable thing that people probably don't know about and just gang up on her and start beating her. Since apparently that's a thing people can do. Yeah, people are terrible. What do you think, Pepsi? Do you think that actually happens behind the closed doors? If somebody's not pulling their weight in a military group, they just beat you down? A little jaded, but yeah.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? But do you think it's possible since people are capable of much worse?
There probably is a lot of people
I don't
who
know.
are much worse.
Maybe I'm just a little nihilistic. Maybe I just don't trust people in a massive group of people. I have been a little paranoid. I've always been a little paranoid. That would probably explain the way the characters are set up, being more open and less paranoid, and not really having a lot of, baggage. Except for, I don't know, Pepsi, how do you feel about Shadow since you've heard her origin, 3 times before?
Yeah.
What do you think of her? She literally got the shortest end of the stick and has the roughest origin compared to everybody else.
Yeah, that is true.
Jen just became complacent and just stuck with who she is, which is just a shy girl in a big world. Pixel is alcoholism incarnate and, family issues. Tiger is I think what I call him is an amnesiac, but it's not really amnesia if you can remember. I don't know. What would you call Tiger? Because I feel I want to call him an amnesiac just because of his like reincarnation cycles, constantly setting him backwards.
I kind of feel like he's more of a trickster.
The Fox stereotype still applies.
Well, also from your definition, sometimes he kind of is.
He's playful. He's not inherently evil. He just has the capacity to commit evil. But yeah, but you probably nailed it. Tiger's definitely a trickster, but I'm saying personality, well, character-wise, I think I would class him as an amnesiac because his personality just changes so rapidly based on his next incarnation. Look how different Momo is from the rest of the Tigers you've seen so far. Rage, tags, fur. Based on the descriptions, they all have vastly different personalities, but they still have a very similar clothing style, where Momo's probably the most similar to tags and fur in personality, but quite different in her dress code. Then again, she is supposed to be a samurai that was like, screw that, I want to be a ninja, resulting in a unique classification. Where she has all the agility, she has all the skill of a samurai, but she trained to get more agility as a ninja. Which makes me wonder, is there some secret ninja academy of a thieves guild that trains people to be ninjas? I don't know. We'll have to find that out, won't we? Also, I'm actually very happy that Ashley here can smile. A lot of characters do smile all the time, and I'm just very happy that this one in particular does have the ability to smile. I don't know. What do you think, Pepsi?
I don't know at the moment.
Nothing. Well, there's that whole, shitstorm about telling someone to smile versus, I get the idea behind it, but I think just people are just so rabid nowadays that I can't believe anything they say wholeheartedly. There's also a tragedy about what happened to Hollywood is just super great, man. Have you ever noticed that? How vicious people are toward each other in Hollywood?
Yeah.
I mean, well, how vicious they become. I'm not sure who said about it. What something I think I heard, but I can't confirm 100% was basically when you get sent to Hollywood or when you get super famous, your true self or your actual personality, it just amplifies your best and worst traits, creating a weird monster of sorts, where to your close friends, you can literally be the nice guy to the world, and then when you walk out the front door, you can be the cruelest person there is, which is weird. I think it was somebody commentating on the individual called Ninja. No idea who the guy was, didn't really care to investigate, but he was basically talking about that guy. It was like, yeah, fame his opinion was, yeah, this guy kind of got twisted by fame and isn't happy they lost fame. Then again, I could understand where the guy's coming from, because imagine having all the attention of the world on you constantly, and then it's gone, and you're quite literally falling back into obscurity quite quickly. You would feel that would bring out, some bitterness. Not justified. I'm not saying it's justified, but I'm saying I understand it. Then again, I strive not to get that fame because, I have the fear. I fear fame itself and what it could do to somebody.
Yeah.
You hear all these stories about people going insane and all this other stuff. And honestly, I don't want it. I woke up in the car and there was a woman there. Then 3 weeks later, we got married.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
I did not touch that woman. She came to me.
But no one will believe you.
So tell us, how exactly did a Tyrannosaurus squirrel wind up in your pool? Oh, simple. I was not taking illegal medication to not drive wildly down the streets of LA to not give $1,000 to a homeless man. I did not do any of that. I went to bed, I said my prayers, and then I closed my eyes. Next thing I know, my house is trashed, everything's a mess, and my wife left.
Okay, my wife is gone. Explain that one to me.
I think he's either high or he's telling the truth. Or
We'll go with pie.
or somebody impersonated this man and is trying to get him in trouble. Yeah, that last one's probably BS. Who would celebrities have a reputation of being a bit eccentric down here in Hollywood? Yeah, but that's the thing. The world is full of mysteries. You know, what I would find funny is if in TMP the Tiger made the offhanded joke, "Oh, my evil twin did it," and that thing when you dissect it down to its core, it would either have to be Insanity, who would be his evil twin that does all this stuff to mess with him, or to a lesser extent Sin. But Sin, surprisingly, has a high honor code, so I don't think he'd ever mess with Tiger like that. Except for the time he gets, it's really awkward to actually do the level of live streams because I'm actually writing down my words on thoughts through vocal means. And I flash back to that story with Penny where the heroes, the TMP heroes, aren't really that heroic because they're people, not gods. And, even with the literal god in the form of Tiger and Sin clashing, they reject, the idea of being a deity in exchange for being human. Someone that can be flawed that is not all-knowing and that has what gods lack, which is a human kindness and a soul. And I think my explanation for the gods are because I have a deep hatred for gods, but I still give religion. I don't throw religion under the bus, but I do have a story to tell, and I'm not going to compromise it for someone's feelings about their belief on their religion.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny that my disdain for religion did result in the creation of Hell's Parade, a story where the devil's a black sheep and humanity is kind of punching down on the guy even though he doesn't deserve it. In that story, the devil is silly portrayed as a child who literally can't take losing anymore, who kicks Lucy out of heaven, making him the ruler of hell. And then Lucy's just like, you know what? I'm going to take a break, and he goes up to party with the humans, taking on different personalities and different personas, giving humans or striking deals with them by striking bets. The devil doesn't ask for your immortal soul. He instead asks for something he instead will probably ask for to live your life for one day. He probably wouldn't go too overboard, but he could either make your life a little bit better or a little bit worse based on who you are as a person. Yeah.
So if you're like a good person, will a good thing happen to you or a bad thing?
Well, if your marriage was failing, he probably could fix it and give you a notepad
so
of what you need to do to keep your relationship better.
Somewhat of a break.
He's basically what people joke Jesus would be, which is a bro.
So pretty much you're a good guy, but your life's going to shit, and basically he's giving you the one break you've asked for. So he basically make it all better.
Well, yeah, that's actually the thing about the devil that people don't get. The devil was a free thinker who wanted independence from God, and from the way I remember it being said, yeah, people that follow his action was literally he was unjustly kicked out. In the religious books, it was he rose up against God. In the other version, it was the devil said, yeah, no, I want to be independent from you. And God was like, that's not happening, which resulted in the fight. And then, the whole hell thing, demon. But in Hell's Parade, the devil's just a black sheep. All right, so the huge fight that was described in the Holy Books in Hell's Parade, that didn't happen. It was just God throwing shit at the devil until, he finally conked him in the head, knocked him out, and the devil flew toward Earth. He was like, that hurt, and then God's mighty fist just pounded him into the Earth, creating hell itself. So the devil was like, oh, that's great. And demons just started to appear from, the sin of humanity. But, okay, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Demons they're basically wild animals, but they're also humanoid in a sense. They are very energetic creatures that love partying. The problem is because they aren't mortal and they don't know what the concept of death is because they live in hell where they exist there to punish the wicked. And in TMP, it's punish the wicked, purify them, send them back to heaven. Not heaven, earth. In Hell's Parade, it's send them down to hell. They stick around in hell, and then they have the choice of becoming a demon, going back to earth, or just walking their own path, which is basically just a dice roll because you never know what that entails. You might be reincarnated or sent to another religious. I'm not sure if other religions are going to exist in Hell's Parade, since Hell's Parade is following the Christian example of like Christ and that
Kind of
just
how I
stuff.
see a little
So
bit
I
of
don't know if
religions like Satan is a rebellious teenager going against the parents and wanting to live on their own. So Jesus, as the concerning father, just kicks him out of the house.
it'd be more like Jesus is the brother, and he's like, because I found this out from Overly Sarcastic Productions with Red, who explained that apparently like the first version of the devil before like the fan fiction came out, they rewrote him as like having daddy issues.
Oh, no.
Basically, I was going for that before I knew that was a thing. Because Fact Fiend, Carl Small, was telling me he just loves the devil. He enjoys interpretations of the devil just doing his job. But my interpretation when I thought about it was like, I really hate religion. How can I lambast and parody it, but spin it in a way that it can be amusing? Thus, Hell's Parade was born. And the title of the series is called Hell's Parade because hell in its final in the all right. So character for the main TP universe is reinterpreted for the series. In this universe, it's an intern that got run over by a bus who became a demon. This intern was just doing his job when he was just watching an episode of TMP because it's a reference to my work, obviously. So he's watching an episode of TMP. Pixels, it's like we see what's happening. Taggart looks at Pixel, screams, "What have you done, you idiot?" As Pixel spilled coffee and kind of destroyed the world in the process. Taggart resetting time and fixing everything. However, in the story Hell's Parade, the intern just points out saying, "Ha, what an idiot," drops his coffee on the table, screams out, "Oh no, what have I done?" And then the demons leak out, creating the apocalypse in the form of a giant party where, the people that were pure in life get to be raptured and taken away from the party, living in heaven, while the people of Earth party so hard some of them die from their own fault. I wasn't kidding. Demons are party animals, and in Hell's Parade,
you have over in the Rockford Hills.
Yeah, that's the initial reaction people have. Demons are erupting from the earth, and they're like, it's literal parade floats, flags, and like just hell is great, and we love the devil stuff. People think, oh, it's the apocalypse; they've come to kill us all, and then like one demon,
it's just like a simple party.
It is a party, but like they don't figure this out until like a month later, where Demon Bro just walks up saying, "Hey, bro, we're kind of lost. Where do you guys party?" And this kind of results in like, okay, this actually gets split down the middle because when the demons come out, they come out partying. Here's the thing though, because this wasn't the apocalypse that was supposed to happen, but instead all the demons were being released. Because Hell's Parade originally was a more serious story. My original idea was we start off with the devil himself. It's like humans are such fascinating creatures. You have the ability to commit such evil yet so much good. As a man gets his arm ripped off, and he just points in a dark comedic moment saying, "Ha, that's dead me right there," pointing to his arm, which has been torn off. I instead replaced that with a more sympathetic devil because of Penny Q. Where instead...
One thing I kind of realized about it, it kind of reminds me of Gary and his Demons.
It might. I don't know. I haven't seen the show.
It's a pretty funny show.
But yeah, my interpretation of the devil is a more sympathetic character who's literally just like, he doesn't hate humanity. He loves humanity. And he loves partying with humanity. He loves humans specifically because they... All right. He has daddy issues, and the reason demons are like repelled by like you using the cross and whatnot against them isn't because it actually hurts them. It's because they have daddy issues because God is their like grandfather, and you're using his name to say "get the hell out of my house," and they're like super like they become super upset and like so sad that they leave because they're crying, not because they actually wanted to hurt you. But you're basically beating them with a wooden stick saying "get out" or "get better grades, Timmy." And that's the whole thing. Everything you thought you knew about religion, it's not true. everything gets turned on its head specifically for that reason. The demons aren't evil; they're just incarnations meant to punish the wicked. And if you want a wicked soul, they'll totally party with you, or they'll try to before you run in horror. You'll holy water doesn't hurt them. Ideas of vampires scare them. Oh, and they actually do commit mass. They actually do go on a rampage they actually go out searching for the souls of the wicked to kill them. Because they left hell early, like I said, half of the demons are just like, they took human form and are just partying with humanity. The other half took up a crusade against sin. No, not my character sin, but like the sins the wicked have committed. Murder, striking another person down to the point where they can't recover. Basically, they're a manifestation of the mob mentality, where it's innocent until proven guilty, but it's like guilty until proven innocent. But the thing is, they're demons, so they know what you did, because they're demons. They can read your mind, see your thoughts, and if you have a wicked heart, they know, oh, you're the one we're after. And they're demons, so what do they care about a judicial system? They know you're evil. Everybody can prove it. Well, all these demons can prove it. And they specifically don't touch anybody that hasn't committed anything evil. Yeah, you can steal a candy bar, and they'll chastise you for it, where it's like, you should go back to that place and buy 2 candy bars.
Oh, so it's kind of like simple punishment, almost. Like, you're good and you do one little bad deed. It's not like...
You don't go to hell for stealing a candy bar like you would in Dante's Inferno.
It's kind of like childhood punishment. You break something, you get a spanking, or you get put in the corner or in the timeout.
Yeah, and that's kind of something that had to evolve because of TMP. So if you want to know why the demons are so chill, it's because of TMP, where I was like, yeah, that's kind of effed up if I don't give people a way to like redeem themselves and actually get a second chance. So that's where the evolution of like, you get punished and held and get 3 chances to like redeem yourself. Otherwise, you blow your 3 chances because you sin horribly. Not that you stole a candy bar or cheated on your wife, but you truly sinned to the point where you've hurt too many people. Except if you're a murderer. If you're a murderer, you get thrown. If you're a murderer, you get thrown straight into like this endless pit arena where you're forced to fight other murderers and the worst of the worst.
The 7 levels of hell.
It's basically this like pocket dimension within hell, specifically meant not to be redemption, but just meant to be suffering.
It's 7 stages of hell, pretty much. Like the worst thing you do, like murder, terrorism, or torturing. That's the 7th level, and that's what you get to experience for the rest of all of eternity.
Yeah, that's basically it. If you're a murderer, you get thrown in with other murderers, and you're forced to murder each other. Because if you have the passion to murder, you might as well be stuck with horrible people that also like to do the same thing. Yeah. Same for the more,
So what about people who are mentally ill? Like they don't mean to do it, but it happens.
I think they are the exception, and they would get sent back to Earth because a mental illness would basically be something biological that can't be. It's not. Your soul isn't tainted, and you don't have the passion in your heart to commit evil. It's instead circumstance and biology. So they would probably have to send you back up for like a freebie. So
they'd probably like let you relive your life without the illness.
They wouldn't be able to control whether or not you'd be born with something worse or better. They would just throw you back up and hope for the best.
Yeah.
They don't control your fate. They just like determine whether or not you are good or not. And that's the thing. I want to show like a different side of like the interpretation of like this can be anybody. It's a discussion I had with Smiler Wolf when I edit that video. I did a video with Smiler Wolf where I literally point out and say, no wait. In the comic book universe I want to do called TMP Zombies, it's Tiger by himself sitting surrounded by zombies, and his little monologue in his head is, I can kill these things all day, but at the end of the day, they still were people, so I shouldn't, although I'd be killing them now, I don't know what would come to replace them. These things are the only thing that are keeping them away. He keeps saying them, them, them. Then he finally tells the viewer, ever since the zombie apocalypse hit, it's not the dead I fear, it's people. And the reason I fear people is because, and then all these zombies get mowed down, and they just point their guns at Tiger. Tiger's still magical, but what he says is, why the reason I fear people is because they can think for themselves.
Huh.
Tiger is a shapeshifter and an individual that can run around and just get around zombies easy. People, however, are murdering each other because basically nobody's paying attention. Nobody's going to punish them. People at the worst will do literally. Society falls apart the moment any form of like punishment is removed. We know this because it's happened time and time again, and again and again and again. However, that's Tiger. He just wants to survive and just leave the dead be. He wants to put them to rest, but he can't because the moment he does, there's a chance that a small group of survivors are just going to try to up and kill him. He has supplies. He has the ability to produce more supplies, and he refuses to like trust anyone for that reason. He doesn't need. So he doesn't. He's not trying to survive the zombie apocalypse. He's trying to survive running away from people. But if you're asking why didn't he just hide in a bush or something for the rest for like all time or stay as an animal, he can't do that because the personalities still exist and they have their own wants and desires, and they're basically being a problem with him. Some of them want to save the world and bring back humanity to a stable state. Others are being nihilistic and beating up those ones. Others are beating up the ones that are beating up other ones. So Tiger's always stuck with people screaming in his head constantly saying, do this, do this, do this, while Tiger's just saying, leave me alone. And he can't leave the personalities just like they can't leave him, which is creating a vicious cycle of torment. So in a way, Tiger's suffering from a personal hell. The side of him that wants to be heroic, the side of him that's being neutral, and the side of him that's being, well, him, chaotic or rational. And that's the thing about Tiger in that universe. In TMP Zombies, he's literally just arguing with. In TMP, before TMP, I have a comic book page. I have a comic book cover called Myself and I, where the personalities are each basically going over their history with Tiger. In Me, Myself, and I, we explore the relationship of the characters with him. In I Am My Own Worst Enemy, we explore what the personalities do when Tiger's being a little bit on the maniacal side. The personalities do have the freedom to kill Tiger if they think he needs a reset. It's rare, because Tiger usually is guided to be a hero, but they can kill him. However, this does bring into question, this again this continues to make infighting between the personalities, because this brings up the question, do we have the right to kill him, versus why should we care whether or not he gets to live? Maybe the next one's going to be better, maybe the next one's going to be worse. They try not to mess with him too much when he's on Earth. When he's on Evo, humanity itself isn't the big focus anymore. Tiger's now created a little kingdom that's basically democracy with the ruling head. He serves the people. He serves the people when he's there and goes on adventures when he's bored. The people like him and they think he's an honorable king. Tiger's response is just to be the kindest person he can be, and he's not looking to commit matricide. Well, homicide, destruction, or allow the powers that be become a dictatorship.
You want to find me?
The moment
death and destruction.
There's actually a fun little story. Well, not fun. It's actually a scary little story where it's like they want to usurp the king, and Tiger's just like, oh, so you want to kick me out just because I'm doing nothing but being benevolent? Okay. Tiger leaves the seals that are placed on the castle, because the castle isn't naturally defended just by the knights and just by the people that work for security. There is an enchantment placed on the kingdom Tiger resides in that keeps the creature from Evo, the more volatile ones, from seeking it out and entering the place. If you were running away, your best shot, if you knew where Tiger's kingdom was to run there, because the creatures will back off once you reach 100, 200 steps within 200 feet within the area of the castle, creating a nice safety net. However, when that event happened and they were like, yeah, get lost, we don't want you, Tiger walks off, takes his magic with him, and then that's it. They quickly find out that, yeah, he's not he was quite literally the biggest source of defense we had. Guess how long they lasted before they literally scrambled to find Tiger?
Probably a few minutes.
Yes. Tiger literally just sat outside the fence of the gateway and was just reading a book. And he was like, oh, a magma cap. That's interesting. Those things usually don't come here because, it's so far away. I wonder if it's Berserk. It was. So that thing starts spewing. Hi, Viper. That thing starts spewing lava all over the place.
It was.
That was followed up by the creatures of Nightmare Woods. And if you don't know what the creatures of Nightmare Woods are, they are the mythol. Oh, poor Viper's sick. I hope you feel better soon, Viper.
Aw.
If you don't know what that is, then all right. One of the creatures from Nightmare. All right, the creatures that reside in this place called the Nightmare Forest or Nightmare Woods. What exists there are the mythology or the creatures we would consider our boogeymen. Baba Yaga, basically being an old hag from Russian lore, which was a woman that would eat people. I said children. Oh, but new art will be coming soon for me. Oh, that's epic. That's epic, Viper. In like, I just ate soup. Oh, I hope it was tasty. What is there? There's Headless Jacks, and you know the story of what was it, Gulliver Travels, or you know the story of the Headless Horseman, right?
Yeah.
Well, a branch of that, a species sprung up around that thing. They're called Headless Jacks. They are individuals or they are entities that have flaming skulls and liquid-like bodies, which allow them to melt into the earth. Headless Jacks also have the ability to throw their heads at people, creating a very nice and fiery explosion. They are magic users, and in order to combat them, you have to be you have to pray for your own life that somebody nearby with magic can fight it off for you, or you can fight it off with your own magic.
Oh.
Oh yeah, and they can phase through matter. That's their unique ability. They can phase through matter naturally in addition to levitating and having explosive projectiles in the form of their heads. You also can't decapitate one because they're headless. That comic of yours, Mike, I loved it. Oh, thank you. That was Smell vs. Insanity, a crossover between two books. Oh, we're done here. And here with the finished product of Cupchew. Ashley here, cosplaying as the Ice Bear Pokemon known as Cupchew.
Yeah.
I love it. She looks so cute and so happy.
She does look cute.
Quick notice. If you don't know this about the personalities do have different eye colors. Some of them can share the same eye color because magic, but Ashley has a creamy red eye. So for those of you that don't know, a red eye usually signifies nothing special. It's just like, you know, something people can like change their eye color to naturally, which results in something sweet. The thing about Ashley though is hers is a pastel, meaning, you know, obviously red signifies intense passion or intense anger. She has intense anger within her. She probably hates. She didn't hate. I don't know. I want to explain her character, but right now I'm just drawing a blank on it. Poor thing. But she does seem very happy. She gets along with Tiger just fine because of his very open personality, and I think her gimmick is she feels like a loner. Also, this Cupchew looks super adorable. Oh, look at that. It kind of looks like it's sliding. It kind of looks like it's just sliding in a snowy mountain, and it just has a little ice bridge. I love my characters. Oh yeah, Ashley's actually wearing white gloves. You're wondering why her hands are white. To continue the set, she did in fact carry white gloves. What else is there? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Tagger, Downfall of the Kingdom. Yeah, it took less than like a couple minutes for like them to scream where the king went, which is Tagger, to come back and save their skin. Was it wrong of Tagger to do so? Not necessarily. They wanted to out him as the, you know, the figurehead or the ruler. So, you know, he did what he did best and just walked away, surprisingly. Tiger stuck by because he wasn't going to let innocents die, and Jen would have rang his neck if he would have let innocent people die. Yeah, Tiger's not evil, but he can be a bit dickish. Also, the girl he loves kind of has a big heart for, you know, everyone. Oh yeah, this next page, it's actually Dakota fan art. So Dakota, much like Viper, will be making an appearance in TMP. I'm thinking of making Dakota either a meat shop, like a little store owner, or a botanist. But we have a botanist in the form of Pixel's ex-girlfriend, who thought he was dead and started up a relationship with a plant elemental. I feel like I feel terrible for Pixel. He literally drew the shortest end of the stick, and all right, and because probably no one's gonna watch the Pokemon Fire Red Let's Play, I think. Well, to the end, there was actually a piece of fan art there that also has Dakota in it. and I want to make a quick video on it about like little fan art and like the story behind it and what that basic idea was. But to give you the quick crackdown with Dakota here, I just saw Viper here's dog. Her name is Dakota, but I spelled it with the C for simplicity. She has a purple eye, pink sweater, or magenta, much like Fur's eyes, and she has the same hairstyle as Ashley. I love Ashley. She's so cute. Dude, I love my anatomy is getting a lot better because I'm starting to push myself to do more poses. I don't like shilling. I don't like bringing up my social media at all. But I do have a Twitter. I do have a Discord. If anybody would be interested in like creating a small little group where you guys can see the artwork or following my Twitter or DeviantArt, you'll honestly get a lot more out of me on Twitter. I'm on Twitter for like less than 15 seconds, but I literally do pay attention to the messages. All right, Viper. So yeah, I do have social media, but I don't like plugging it because every other YouTuber does it. And every other YouTuber uses it as padding for their videos, using it to push to the 10-minute time frame, which apparently gives you 2 ads at the end of your video. One at the beginning, one at the end. And if you're feeling really terrible, 3. All right, Weber, I see you there. So, Dakota, right. I'm thinking about going the botanist route with her. But Dakota herself, I'm not sure what her personality or character trait's going to be. I know she probably isn't going to have any ties to Tiger, but more she's going to have ties to Viper, who, when I finally design her character and add him into the series, we'll figure out what Viper does. Since Viper's character does have the possession or like the split personality effect going on. Apparently having a dark side and having a light side. The light side and dark side not fighting back and forth, but being aware of each other from what I could tell. And that seems like a fascinating thing. A contrast between Tiger's personalities, who don't possess him, but they are individuals he is aware of. Then again, I guess that idea would freak out Insanity. The idea of having like 2 separate voices in his own head that reflect the exact opposite of what he is. That would actually be interesting if like Insanity actually fears Viper specifically because they have that effect. 2 different minds with 2 different personalities, where one takes over and the other one doesn't. Then again, I think that'd be interesting mainly because that's Insanity's whole deal. After Insanity was born, Tiger and the rest of the person set out to go capture him, and that was kind of transferred over to Sin instead, where Sin's story quite literally was him, unfortunately, being unjustly imprisoned within the Earth's core, which resulted in him becoming feral and berserk. Which, honestly, the saddest character in DMP probably is Sin. He's probably the character with the most heartache. Come on, Pepsi. You gotta be invested.
Huh?
Come on, Pepsi. You gotta be a part of the conversation.
Sorry, I got a little distracted.
You're always distracted. Then again, you are a dog, so it's kind of given. But unlike me, though, where I go on endless tangents, you get distracted by important things.
Music.
Yeet.
I was just also updating my PSP, so.
What I do find, oh man,
like my only weakness is pianos. Jesus.
Oh, cool. Got a like from somebody. Oh, dark side. Okay, I don't shill for anybody. Shill. I don't do shoutouts specifically because I feel like they aren't really that, influential. I'd much rather do a collaborative video where I work with somebody and just bring them onto the show, have fun with them. We do a stream, we talk over a video. I get my reactions, I hit the video, and then we post it. There's this guy on Twitter called Florence Lupin, and if you want to go follow him, I recommend you do because he's definitely a chill guy. I don't understand everything he talks about. He's brought up video games and other stuff I don't understand, just like Skullface at Great Gun Shogun. Go ask him where the comic is, please. Or just like tweet him, love you, or just go through his art and get his see what reaction you get. But yeah, he currently goes by the name Dorkside97, which I need to draw that. I need to draw the character called Darkseid from DC Comics as an individual called Dorkseid, who's literally just wearing dorky glasses, but he can still blast you into pieces with his Omega beams or the Omega effect. I don't know. I wish somebody would like elaborate whether or not like a minor name change to a villain's or hero's power classifies it as its own thing or changes it. I think right now I just want to outline Dakota's art, the Dakota fan art, and instead do another drawing that's been like waiting way too long, which is Pepsi Wolf's sister Cherry Wolf. Cherry Wolf, if you don't know, is a French wolf with quite the bite. Cherry Wolf is, I think I'm gonna make her a more pastel color, but Pepsi Wolf here hasn't given me anything on her color scheme, which, if you don't know, makes it very difficult. It's also, it was easy to come up with her idea. She's based off the brand Cherry Pepsi, just like Pepsi Wolf was based off or inspired by the product Pepsi, and also his character ref sheet, which I despised with all my malice and hatred.
We both do.
Was oh man, I was so full of malice. I literally just created your character avatar out of necessity rather than desire. It's weird. When I'm motivated by hatred, it seems I get more drawings out quicker, which isn't a good thing, mind you. But I think it's funny. What do you think, Pepsi? Do you think it's funny? What do you think? Do you think it's funny that when I'm motivated by malice, I create things quickly? Surprisingly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't recommend that anyone uses the emotion of malice to create anything. I mean, unless you're intentionally going for a very angry story, then at which point you can write in malice, but just be aware that when you write in anger, when you write anything or do anything with a certain emotion, it will affect the quality of your work. The only reason I'm able to do it with drawing is just because I chill out very quickly. I don't really like staying angry at all, and I mellow out, and I try to mellow out very quickly, just for the sake of quality. Then again, Pepsi Wolf's character quickly evolved into something else. Cherry Wolf, what is her origin? I don't really... I need to fix this character's chest. Alright. Okay. I knew something was bothering me about her. If anyone doesn't know, it actually isn't that hard for me to draw a character. It's hard for me to do poses. Their anatomy tends to be very, unique. In the case with the depiction of Dakota here, what I call them rigs because of 3D animation, and it's basically it's basically an easy way of saying the skeleton outline. But the reason I call them rigs is because they make it much more easier for me to help define the way the character is moving. I was supposed to work on something. What was it? Oh, I remember now. It was a depiction of the Sinnen crew. Sinnen crew. Sounds like an old buddy cop. Yeah, it's a depiction of Sinnen crew called "We're Not So Bad." Is it where or were? Oh, it's "We're Not So Bad." My bad. It's a depiction of Sin and friends. Well, in his friend Insanity and Longshot, an individual who, despite being mute, is very, very expressive. Despite being a mute character who has no mouth, people talk to him as if they know what he's saying. And to give him credit, they must be really good at it or be really good friends with him. Because he's mute. He never says anything. He's very... I just remember what Schoolboy told me. The operator is another mute figure that was shown at the beginning of the stream in a picture called A Silent Reunion, a depiction of the operator and Longshot meeting after what I assume to be a couple months without interaction. And Skullboy says the operator should talk, but his speech bubble is going to be dots. I'm not going to tell you what language or like what it's going to like be, but Skullboy's influence has been set, and it's not going to be fun. Oh yeah, I probably should mention that if I say something on a stream and then change it, and then blatantly admit Skullboy's the reason why, chances are it's because Skullboy does have a major influence on my work. He has good ideas that I can definitely work with. And this just goes to show you should listen to your friends and not just yourself. Look what George Lucas did with Star Wars as an example. From what I can understand what the community says, or the fandom, apparently Star Wars was really good because people told him, no, cut this out, no, this doesn't work, no. And it wasn't just like, it was his idea, yes, but it wasn't just him that made it good. It was the producers and executives that were like nudging him to like, make it what the end product was. And then people universally, I guess, hated the prequels he made. It's super weird because I that is a thing, right, Pepsi? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me get out a picture I actually do want to work on. I wanted to draw live with pencil, but that got thrown out the window. Since right now my hand isn't feeling too good. But in the meantime, I will be pulling out a picture of Cherry Wolf after our scanner. So, Cherry Wolf, what exactly is her role? Well, she's not a tsundere, and she is not a terrible human being. On the contrary. Although, Shadow... Alright, if anyone's curious what by chat... I never did talk about this. I'm going to make a video dedicated to it, but to talk about it briefly because I'm a scattered individual with a scattered mind. Ah, yes, the log. I'm a very much active individual that's constantly running around circles trying to find things that amuse me. Which is why sometimes you'll see such random things being posted. Something I am doing is just like having fun and posting what I want to post. Originally, I did have the idea of like, asking you guys what you wanted to see, but small community, not a lot of replies. Don't get much, don't have a lot of funds to do anything people would request. Oh, and if anyone ever asks for a face reveal, let this live stream be the day I tell you. My face reveal has been shown. I have done a face reveal. It's called Tagger. Tagger will always be my avatar, my representation of my work, but he won't ever, that's all I'm ever going to show. Because, I'm Tiger, Tiger's me, and that's what I look like. I am so sorry for the like short pauses. There's stuff happening in the background that I cannot control. So right now I'm kind of skimming through pictures of like trying to find Cherry Wolf. Wherever she is. Because I do not know where she went. And whatever. This stream's been going fine. Try not to crack under the pressure of not having Pepsi Wolf around or having my computer crash. One or the other. Who knows? So, yeah. I can't find that picture of Cherry Wolf right now, so I'll find it later, post a video about it, and we'll talk about Cherry Wolf then. When I have my thoughts again and can actually think straight. But yeah, depiction of We're Not So Bad. A bunch of characters from the TMP universe that, they're their own brand of fun. TMP is in a world full of black and white. It's definitely a world with a lot of grays,
Magic.
where characters are characters, but they are treated like people. Well,
No, it is full of magic.
but what about the psychological elements?
Shh. Don't make it too complicated.
I will chew on you like yesterday's dry bone.
No, not a rawhide bone.
All right, I'll chew on your hide then.
No.
Pepsi Wolf, everybody. Always saying no. Also, I think I'm going to mentally crash and divulge into a mess if I like stream for like what is it? 9:44. So yeah, around that time is like what I'm at. So if I first stream for like up to 10 o'clock, I know I'm gonna start getting very bitter and like start saying things that I don't want to say. You know, start becoming very offensive and trying to like change.
It is finished.
Since my current mindset is if a joke doesn't work, don't force it. And it's also if you're gonna mess up on your own terms and not when you're streaming. As you know, live streams are probably the most difficult things to actually make entertaining. It's very difficult to do a live stream, especially with Pepsi Wolf, when you're either tired or you're not getting too much feedback. Feedback being the thing that I use to bounce off things. Akira the Fox makes things easier, but Joey is Joey, Pepsi is Pepsi, Penny is Penny, and the only one that make me constantly smile is just because he's so British. Also, he's a stand-up guy that constantly says WTF whenever I'm trying to like be super weird. I know it's not a jab at any of them, and not a jab at Smiler. Him being British isn't the only reason I love him. It's the main reason I love him. Just missing. No, Smiler Wolf is he's a unique character, if I had to put it that way. He's definitely somebody I wouldn't find anywhere else, and I'm just going to jokingly refer to him as like my evil counterpart or my doppelganger, even though it's more likely he's Pepsi's polar opposite as far as character goes. In TMP, Pepsi Wolf is a hero to the end. He sees the world in black and white, but he's aware there are moral gray areas, much like another character I have. The difference is Pepsi Wolf isn't going to go insane, and Pepsi Wolf will always stand for what's right, despite it might leading to someone getting hurt. That is freaky, and I love it. Oh man, I hope Petty Q lets me put this in the next video because this is like super freaky.
Ooh.
I think I'm gonna end the stream soon, very soon, mainly because I don't want to. Going through my old streams, I'm not very happy with them, and I'd probably just like tap myself on the shoulder if I could go back in time and say, hey, it's okay to like take a break and stream another time. You're tired. You shouldn't force yourself to stream for a long period of time if you don't have anything to say or anything to do. Yes, I do have my artwork, but if any of you were unfortunate enough to see any of my live streams that are now privated because I hate myself, it's you would see the decline of my person. You would see the decline of me quickly getting worse and worse. I try to be a good person, and by that I mean I try to be a sweet person that embraces everybody with open arms. I'm not trying to pick fights. I'm not trying to start things with anybody. I don't want to blindly follow what other people are doing, and I definitely want to be my own person. But this does come at the cost of me sometimes becoming, something I don't like and something very negative. It's something I'm not very proud of my old license for that reason. I'm not proud of the person I was acting like versus the person I want to be. I just want to, I want my impact on the world to be something positive. And if not on the world, just on a small group of people. If one person I meet can come out of the conversation smiling, then I've done what I wanted to do. And just bring another smile to this world. I don't have an end goal as much as I just want to be a very positive person that honestly cares about everyone. True, it's a bit of a naive goal. I can't make everybody smile, and that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm basically trying to say is the people that see me online or if they ever meet me, I want to come out of the conversation smiling too. I love people and I love the stories I can get just from like a few words that they can tell me. I can literally turn anything you have into a story. The tone and the way it's told might change, but I can definitely work with anything you give me because anything can be written. It's just that some people, or a lot of people, would disagree. It's also why I don't watch, art tubers or anybody of the sort because I'm very easily influenced by what somebody could say. If somebody walked up to me and said my art was shit, I'd probably think it is shit. If somebody told me, "Oh, your art is great" or "Your art looks great," I take it. I like that. I like the comment, but I try not to like let that get under my skin either because if I do, it'll just create a lack of wanting to improve, and that's all I ever want to do. Improve. I constantly want to improve just for the sake of being able to bring better entertainment to people that might want to see what I can do. And the one thing, among many things I want to do, is always get better or try to improve. Always try to improve and do better. Leave a smile on someone's face. Not get famous because that'd be a nightmare. And if I mess up, I'll accept it. Everybody messes up because we're all human, and no matter how big somebody's subscriber count or how much millions of dollars somebody can make is, you're still people, and that's the thing people seem to forget. Being human isn't it a rich people thing or a poor people thing? It's everyone's thing.
Yeah.
It's just that some of us can't take it or take the intense fame or change that comes with. And then that's the one message I just want to keep telling myself. If I get famous, I want everybody else to come up with me. Because when I fall, that's going to be quite a long fall. It's a long climb up and it's a quick fall down. But that's the thing that hurts more. It doesn't hurt to climb up that ladder, it hurts to fall down. So I might fall, but at least if I did my job right, well, another one of my jobs right, there would be a bunch of other people I'd be able to wave on the way down and see them descend up while I get to chill at the bottom with the rest of you guys. Finally, just doing what I wanted to achieve. Just after all the casual people in the world, just basically like, yeah, he had his 15 minutes of fame, he's gone. I can just look around me and just say, cool. Now that all those normies are gone, I can hang out with you guys. And then just go back to, if I had that lifestyle, I'd be grateful. If I wouldn't be I wouldn't be like angry if I was kicked back to the bottom. I'd just be happy that I'd be able to meet the people that still want to see my work. Old faces, new faces. And I never would take the time I had with anybody for granted. But that's just my view. I'm just trying to be like very straightforward. No strings attached, no nothing. It's also why I try to write the characters as genuinely as possible. Sin might brand himself as the first sin or the first demon, but his personality is so much more than just pure evil. It's layered, and it definitely has a lot of sides to it that I wish to incorporate into the series and explore. But as far as you guys will be able to see, unless you hear me talk about him, and you obviously can know that I truly love Sin as a character because I have so much planned for him, much like any other character. He, for the most part, is going to be introduced as the evil bad guy until you see what he's really capable of. Being evil isn't just one. It's just like being human. Anybody can commit evil. Anybody can commit good. People are wired differently based on their experiences, and I believe anybody can achieve anything if they really want to. And although you might not reach the thing you wanted to, You might find something better. Something better you never knew about. Oh, and this piece of artwork. I don't know how long it's going to take me to finish it, but it probably will make it another. It probably will make its debut in the next video that comes out after the one I do, because when I'm editing the videos, the visuals take. Yeah, it's the same picture over and over again. But what I do with my visuals is I add the little avatars, I green screen them, I add the little effect to fade them in, fade them out. I have to watch the video over and over again to make sure everything lines up properly. I try to make sure everything doesn't fall apart, in addition to, doing my thing. It was more difficult to do the Pokemon Fire Red Let's Play, and I got quite furious because of how long it was taking. But, that's just me. If anybody's watching this, I just want to personally thank you for even bothering for dealing with me. I'm not the best content creator out there. Arguably, I'm the worst. And I'm just very happy that somebody out there just thought, hey, I'll give him the light today. I'll see you guys later. Or in the next video. It takes me a whole week to make another video, but we'll see what happens. Thank you, everyone. I've been Tiger, and I hope to see you guys later. Oh, and special thanks to the people that collaborate with me on videos. If you would like to someday make an appearance in a video, we can talk it out in the comment section or social media. Your choice. Bye-bye.